Radio. This is your evening news.
Good evening. You're tuned into the Suncity News Center here on 104.9 FM. It's now time for our evening news and sports update. Here are some of the stories making the news at this hour. Paternity and adoptive parental leave coming for public sector workers. Portmore Municipality not clear if it will benefit from $140 million, says mayor. More than 8.4 billion US dollars in Russian assets frozen in Cayman Islands. The Bahamas records the first imported case of malaria in 14 years. Russian-Ukrainian militaries is set to discuss grain exports, and the ICC rankings are in. News in details right after this. And now the news in detail. The government is moving to implement changes to family leave for public sector workers. Jada Francis tells us more.
Minister of Finance and the Public Service Dr. Nigel Clark told a press conference on Tuesday afternoon that the Holness administration is to increase maternity leave and to introduce paternity leave. Further, the government wants to provide leave for adoptive parents. The government of Jamaica intends to update the public sector staff orders of 2004 to increase maternity leave from 40 days to 3 calendar months. The GOJ intends to update the public sector staff orders of 2004 to introduce paternity leave for the first time in the public service for fathers of newborns for a specific time and on specific terms to be finalized. Clark stated that to give effect to these changes, the appropriate circular will be sent out to members of the public service by September 30, noting that the cost of new leave entitlements will be made public at a later date. He said that the effective dates for the leave changes will be indicated in the ministry circular. Clark indicated that the government's action came out of the compensation restructure exercise, which reviewed the terms and conditions of service. He said it is committed to modernizing the civil service, which includes restructuring public sector compensation. The finance minister said the discussion on the details of the compensation restructure with public sector unions and bargaining groups are going well. Clark at the conference avoided giving a price tag on what these measures would cost. He also stated that details on paternity and adopted family leave are still being worked out. The move, however, is expected to affect thousands of Jamaicans. In May, government announced a review of the compensation to the lowest paid public sector workers earning up to $600,000 by increasing their pay to an updated amount. The move will also affect thousands of Jamaicans. The government started public discussions on the introduction of the Paternity Leave Act at least 4 years ago. In 2018, the state media JIS, in canvassing sentiments on paternity leave, referenced acceptance by technocrats and scholars. From the Suncity News Center, I'm Jada Francis.
A keynote speaker at the commissioning event, Chief Executive Officer of the CP Group, Matthew Lynn, emphasized the importance of individuals engaging more positively with the environment to ensure its sustainability. All JPS Charge and Go sites also provide additional access space for disabled users. The Jamaica Constabulary Force has named the Spanish Town-based gang leader who was nabbed in Cayman on Friday as Rodolph Shaw. Reports are that Mr. Shaw, who also goes by the aliases Boxer or Boxer, was captured during a targeted operation by the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. In a statement on Wednesday, the JCF said Mr. Shaw was wanted in connection with multiple murders and several shootings in the St. Catherine North and South divisions. He was also linked to the recent flare-up of violence in Spanish Town. The JCF says Mr. Shaw managed to elude capture before leaving Jamaica by boat. The police say after pursuing several lines of investigation, in addition to boosting public awareness through social media publications, Information was received that Mr. Shaw was in Cayman. Collaboration with the police in Cayman led to his capture. Mayor Leon Thomas has made it clear that he is not sure his municipality will benefit from the $140 million the government will provide for hurricane preparedness. He was speaking with the Suncity News team on Tuesday. Diane Crooks tells us more.
Mayor Thomas stated that he is not about to speak on money that he has not yet received from the government to clean drains and other mitigation exercises.
You see, one of the things is that you can't speak about something that you don't receive. I don't know if there's any plan to give Portmore any at all, because we have seen money already allocated and Portmore received none. So I can't speak about any $10 million because I don't know.
He added that if the municipality should receive this money, it would serve the city of Portmore well.
Yes. You know, if we get some money, it will do us well, because we have a lot of drainage that need to be cleaned, major drainage to prevent flood. We have our shelters to look at, we have our food store to look at, we have our bedding to look at, and all the other necessary things.
Mayor Thomas explained that even though Portmore is not 100% ready, they are prepared for any eventuality.
Well, you know, I can't say that we're 100% prepared, but we are prepared in somewhat, because we have started our drain cleaning in the municipality.
Mayor Leon Thomas. From the Suncity News Center, I am Diane Crooks.
Meanwhile, Mayor Leon Thomas says he is expecting the remaining number of trucks promised by the government, as there is a major truck shortage. Diane Crooks tells us more.
Mayor Thomas stated that due to the poor garbage collection, most of this garbage has found its way in the drains.
But what's happening recently, because of the poor garbage collection, then you have a lot of the garbage now in the drains. So we are hoping that we don't have any major rainfall, that, you know, our drain will be clogged.
He explained that he had several discussions with the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA. However, there is a shortage of trucks.
Well, we have several discussions, you know, with the Solid Waste Management team. We have also tour and all of that. But they were saying that they don't have any truck. I know that 100 truck was promised by the Prime Minister. And up to now, we get about 26 out of the 100 trucks for the entire island.
Mayor Leon Thomas. From the Suncity News Center, I am Diane Crooks.
It's now time for the Suncity News Beat, Street Beat rather. The Suncity Street Beat is a feature that allows the people of St. Catherine to voice their views while keeping the Suncity team on the pulse of news. We went into some St. Catherine communities to let the residents voice their views on doing a paternity test before adding the father's name to the birth certificate. And here's what the residents have to say.
Really, would have made them be more careful, like towards think twice before them go do them thing. So that way there, then would have make sure so them know what the father. Actually, I think it's a good idea still. I think it's a good idea because as them say, it don't make no sense to man a child from the age and when you reach up to sometime and when them go away or whatever way, then find out saying them are the father. So I think it's a good idea.
It would be chaos because, you know, someone, you know, them ignorant and stuff like that.
Yes, for real, I think what they are doing to do the test so that the father can know that he's the right father, I think that is the best move, 100%.
That is problem. Because when time some man find out saying no for them pitney, it actually cause problem. So I think the government should implement this.
Well, that's good. That's a good idea. But a lot of these men, when them get the children, them don't want to support them. So sometimes other man fall and support them and it work out. I know a lot of these men. I tell you, Jamaican man, them.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing
Just that you know that the part will go with the father when them find out it's not there, so it's a go, but it's a good thing.
50-50 thing. It's good and it's bad. Where in a sense, you know, saying I have later down in the child's life, man want the child go find him do DNA, it come up that it's not the child, that's a female child. And then the next part of it now, it good where them actually know. Say this is my child. So the woman them know after no say them stop sleep round and make sure say them give the man the right child and don't embarrass themselves.
Well, to be really honest, I think it's a good legislation the government has passed because I was reading an article past 2 months ago and Jamaican women have the highest rate that give jacket is the man say. So I think it's a good legislation the government has passed.
That should happen long time. Long time because me here with a man named Gail, him say 70% of Jamaican male or man get jacket. That unbelievable. 70%? Me can't believe. Me check say well if the man leave himself 50, but 70. Trust me, all them old per man and talk about them all 29 pitney and any more jacket than that.
Yeah. Alright, but you know, I think them need to have police at Jubilee. Yeah, because they have some man them very ignorant and I'm gonna feel nice. I'm gonna feel nice when him find out someone him partner pregnant. And I mean him I try his best. He do everything throughout the 9 months. As I say, and when him find out say everything we I do throughout the 9 months, it is not for him. No man, so.
Alright, so basically I think that's like a 50, even as a man that's a 50-50 because alright, over the years in the negative part for a lot of males over the years have gone and know they have gone whereas they've been taking care of kids that's not their own and it really hurts to know that you're working that hard. You love the person that you're with, you love the child as well and yet still in your deep down you think it was yours and you've been spending that much, you know, like blood, sweat and tears over the years. But at the same time on the other hand, you know that maybe that man doesn't have it and he has to find it. And, you know, they will give so-called jacket over the years and that man has to work day in, day out when he's not his kid and he doesn't know that, but he's putting out the effort. But at the end of the day, he does love the child and he does love the person as we know. But no, I think this will come in as a little, will keep us in check to, especially women, keep us in check to say, hey, you know that you can't give the man the jacket. Yes, I can't give the man the jacket. So I'll keep him on my toes.
You're listening to the evening news here on Suncity 104.9 FM. The time is now 5:15 p.m. Continuing the stories with news in the region. More than 8.4 billion US dollars and 297 million euros in assets have been frozen in the Cayman Islands since Russian sanctions were imposed at the beginning of March. The Financial Reporting Authority has received 801 compliance reporting forms related to the sanctions and 144 suspicious activity reports. This represents over $1 billion US dollars, more than initially reported in April by the Cross-Government Task Force established to coordinate the application of sanctions against Russia. In other regional news, health officials in the Bahamas confirmed an imported case of malaria yesterday. The patient is a Bahamian man in his mid-30s who traveled to West Africa. The health ministry said the patient was being treated at a private medical facility and is expected to make a full recovery. Malaria is not endemic to the Bahamas, and the last documented case on the island was in 2008. In international news, military officials from Russia and Ukraine were set to hold their government's first face-to-face talks in months Wednesday during a session in Istanbul devoted to a United Nations plan to export blocked Ukrainian grain to world markets through the Black Sea. Jada Francis has